The Euro car scene is taking over car culture, and here's why. What's up guys, welcome to Car Rant. My name is John. If you guys are new to the channel, we do builds, we do reviews, and we have candid conversations about cars. So if any of that interests you at all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Last week, Nick talked about how the Japanese car community is pretty much the equivalent of being a passport bro for cars. Today, I'm gonna be addressing the Euro car community and why they have taken over car culture, specifically in America. Back in the day, Japanese cars were being made for enthusiasts. You had cars like the GTR, the Supra, the RX-7, the Evo, list goes on. Even cars like the Acura Integra at the time were enthusiast-built cars. Fast forward to the 2020s, and Japanese car manufacturers are kind of dropping the ball when it comes to enthusiast cars. We have cars like the Toyota Supra, we have cars like the Corolla, the Type R, the new Z, and even you can throw in the Type S in there as well if you wanted to, built by Acura. That's pretty much it. Now on the German side of manufacturers, unlike the Japanese community, German manufacturers have continued to make enthusiast cars and have come out and stated that their goal is to continue to make enthusiast cars. BMW has come out and said that they will continue to make the M3 for as long as they can. Porsche has come out and said that the 911 will remain a combustion engine for as long as it possibly can be. These brands are making cars for people that care about driving fun cars, driving fast cars, but also connect you to the road. Japanese performance side of things, the Nissan Nismo, which if you haven't watched my video on that, check it out, Supra versus the Nismo Z. The Nismo Z wasn't made with a manual transmission. It only has the automatic. And from what I've heard, the automatic kind of stinks. The GR Corolla, when it first came out, everyone was on that hype train, and I still believe that that car is it's a fun little hatchback, and it truly does hold the title of being one of the last hot hatches left. However, from people I've talked with that track these cars, it's not the greatest car on track. The brakes overheat like crazy, and the engine constantly overheats as well. I actually just got off of a photo shoot with someone who had just bought a brand new Type R and traded in his GR Corolla simply for the fact that his GR Corolla overheated and the brakes gave out super quickly. On the flip side, let's talk about the Germans. Now, the biggest one for me has to be BMW. And we can see this in almost every single model that they make. We look at the M3, we look at the M4, and we can even look at the brand new M2 that came out, all of which have that S58 engine, which in the M3 and the M4, they're making north of 500 horsepower stock. And these engines are in sedans or large two-door coupes. They're bringing the performance to a car that you can bring your family on. Like, you can bring your family with you in a car that's making over 500 horsepower. To me, that's awesome. The new M5 has twin turbo V8. These cars they're so capable of making even more power than what they have stock. The joke in the BMW community is you throw a downpipe and tune on the car, and all of a sudden it's making 700-800 horsepower, which I've met guys where they have literally done that, and it's very true. Now, popping over to Audi, Audi has something that actually I don't think any Japanese car brand has, and that is they have a dedicated wagon. Now, as for the engine in the RS6, the twin turbo V8 making 621 horsepower is something not to be underestimated. As a matter of fact, this thing will cook pretty much anything on the road. This is also the same engine that's found in the Lamborghini Urus. Now, as for Porsche, well, we just don't need to talk about Porsche. And for the opposite reasons, yeah, we're not gonna talk about Mercedes at all. Not at all. Bring back the V8, please. Bring the V8 back. We need the V8. Please, please, bring the V8! Given how these German cars perform out the door, it's no wonder why people in the car community are ditching their Japanese cars and buying Germans. I can own a 500 some horsepower BMW M3 out the gate and I don't have to touch it. So if we're talking price for price between new German cars and old Japanese cars, let me take you to the R33 GTR and let me take you to a fully spec'd, brand new BMW M2. I had actually spec'd a BMW M2 and fully loaded package, everything, it comes out to about $75,000. You can buy that for $75,000, or you can buy a Nissan R33 GTR for also around $70,000 to $75,000. The M2 out the gate has a detuned S58 engine from BMW, the same S58 that makes over 500 horsepower in the M3 and the M4. There's already guys who are immediately flashing tunes onto their new M2s to make that kind of power, which you flash a tune onto a German car, it can range you anywhere from maybe $700 to $1,500 depending on the strength, the kind of tune that you get for your car. But in order to get an R33 GTR to mid 500s and high 600s, you're having to spend way more money to get that car there. And then also add on top of the fact that when you start putting that much power into an older car like that, things are also bound to break.
As someone who's working currently on an RB20 swapped 240 project, you have to build the entire engine top to bottom, which is easily $20,000, $30,000 worth of parts, getting it machined, getting everything pressed and set correctly. And that's just the engine. You haven't prepped the rest of the chassis to make anywhere near that power. And if you're working with the GTR variant specifically, you need to make sure that the Heike stuff works. You need to make sure that everything else is up to snuff, or else you're going to snap axles, you're going to snap the drive shaft, stuff like that. With what he's talking about, it's out the door, capable already of that level of power, and you haven't spent a dime. So 30 grand on top of your $70,000 just for that R33.
Given these numbers, it's no wonder why people in the car community are ditching these Japanese legends and going for the new German cars. It also doesn't help that people are distastefully modifying these cars. And these two factors, I believe, are the reason that so much of the German car community is growing. It's cars like the BMWs and Audis that are classier, nicer, and they're also worth the money. And given our current economy, having a car that is the best bang for your buck is what enthusiasts want. You don't have to spend a ton of money to make a German car fast. They already come out of the box with tons of power. And with respect to the Japanese community, I love the R33, I love the R34, I love all of these Japanese legends. However, for you to get the same amount of power that a German car comes with stock, you're having to put in a lot more money. And at the end of the day, is it worth it? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But in a world where bang for your buck is the name of the game, the German car community, well, they're it. So let me know what you guys think. Is the German car community taking over in America? Or does the Japanese car community still have some fight left in it? Is it just me, or is the Japanese car community kind of hurting itself with how they're modifying their vehicles? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Love y'all. Peace.